You may be familiar with the expression, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never harm me." You know, I'm not sure how that expression came into being, because my experience is that names can and often do harm us. Name-calling, teasing, threatening, taunting, verbal abuse are all types of power-based behaviors that have, unfortunately, characterized human behavior throughout history. What has changed for us in recent history, however, is a recognition of the fact that names can and do harm us. Over the last 50 years, there has been a growing awareness among the global human community that all human beings, simply by virtue of the fact that they are human, are deserving of respectful and dignified treatment. Although abusive power-based behavior still happens, as a result of changes in our legal system, we are no longer powerless to do anything about it. As we will learn in Module 2, we now have laws in Canada, human rights laws, occupational health and safety laws, that empower us to be able to speak up and take action when we are on the receiving end of behavior that feels disrespectful to us. As we will learn, these same laws create obligations for employers. Obligations which include creating a safe and respectful workplace for all employees. Let's find out more. Let's spend a moment summarizing the main differences between discriminatory harassment and workplace bullying. As we've learned, the first major difference is that in discriminatory harassment complaints, an individual is targeted because of a personal characteristic that is protected in law, gender, race, ethnicity. Whereas in situations of personal or psychological harassment or workplace bullying, a person is targeted for other reasons, which we're going to learn more about in Module 3. The second major difference between the two has to do with the element of intention versus outcome. In human rights complaints of discrimination or discriminatory harassment, we focus solely on the outcome for the individual that files the complaint. What we're interested in is, have they been disadvantaged at work? Have they been denied or missed out on a job, promotion, training, or other opportunity? We don't focus on the element of intention. That is, whether or not someone intended to discriminate or create a disadvantage to someone else. One of the reasons for this has to do with the fact of historical and/or systemic discrimination. Discrimination is interwoven in human history. The status quo, cultural norms, religions, and/or ethnic traditions often incorporate that historic discrimination, so that people might discriminate without realizing what they are doing. They're simply following what they've always done, or what has always been done. They often don't question such practices or customs. Rather, they simply accept them. The same cannot be said about workplace bullying, however. While those that bully will seldom admit to or take responsibility for what they're doing, it is simply unreasonable to accept that someone can systematically target someone else with humiliating, degrading, insulting, and abusive comments and behavior and not realizing that they are doing it. For this reason, we consider bullying to be intentional behavior. The other really important difference between discriminatory harassment and workplace bullying has to do with the actual outcome, what happens to people when they're on the receiving end. As we have learned, the outcome in discrimination and discriminatory harassment complaints is disadvantage, not getting the job opportunity or promotion. In bullying, the outcome is harm. Specifically, under BC's Bill 14, it must be harm that is diagnosed by a psychiatrist or psychologist as a mental or physical condition, as per the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. To put it simply, when left unchecked, bullying makes people sick. So, now you'll have a chance to see if you have a clear understanding of the differences between the various disrespectful behaviors defined in law by taking the quiz that will complete Module 2.